Did you know that the greatest empire in history started from nothing? Yes, it started with a poor young man from a small tent, without an army or wealth. But he had something that no one else had, unshakable faith and a vision that no one else dared to dream of. This is Osman ibn Artugrul. And this is his story that changed the course of history. Osman grew up and lived in the K tribe amid constant conflicts between neighboring tribes and countries. He did not need money or an army, but rather knowledge and wisdom. He learned from his sheikh, Ede Bali, that power without justice does not last, and that victory begins from within. This simple lesson changed the course of his life, and from there began the emperor's journey. Osman did not rely solely on the sword, but built his state on faith, justice, and consultation. He married the daughter of Sheikh Ede Bali, combining spiritual power with military power. And the tribes began to gather around him, and then loyalty shifted from one man to a great idea called justice. Thus began the Ottoman Empire, small but with boundless ambition. Osman Bey faced armies many times larger than his own. But his military intelligence and wisdom were his strongest weapons. In the Battle of Bavios, he turned the tide and gradually unified Anatolia. Later, the siege of Bursa was another test for him, but unfortunately, he did not witness the conquest with his own eyes. He passed away and left the task to his son Orhan to continue the march and start a new era for the Ottoman legend. Osman Bey was not just a commander, but a wise conqueror and a leader who believed in God Almighty. He shared food with his men, stood with them in the most difficult circumstances, listened to them and consulted them, and gave each tribe its due rights. With these qualities, the empire was built from a heart that believed in God Almighty before it possessed or believed in power. From a small tent in Bogas to an empire that lasted 6 centuries. Osman, the founder, teaches us one lesson. The legend begins with faith in God Almighty, continues with wisdom, and is completed with justice and sacrifice for the sake of the cause. Never underestimate the power of your dream. No matter how small your beginnings may be, remember that faith in God Almighty works miracles. From Faith to Empire Crescent Moon. Subscribe now to follow the journey of heroes who inspire and strengthen the will every day, by the permission of God Almighty Sparkles. O God, pray for and bless our beloved Muhammad.